Welcome to my views and news. Some news stories for you. First one is from Tigray. Conflict within the TPLF Tigray People's Liberation Front is being reported. What happened at the election of Getachew, at the meeting of a Central Committee of TPLF when Getachew was elected, because he has been elected by a very narrow lead, just one vote lead. The other candidate, Fisseha Haftorsian, got 17 votes. Getachew got 18 votes. Who was backing the other candidate? Details for you. And secondly, viewers, Tigray forces have handed over missiles and rockets to Ethiopian National Defense Force. We have received a report from Tigray. It happened around 24 hours ago. And thirdly, viewers, activists, analysts who are critical of Ethiopian federal government, who are seen as pro-Amhara, they are being targeted, they're being arrested, detained, tortured. Details of two activists for you. Firstly, viewers, Getachew, as I reported in a video a few hours ago, has been elected as interim Tigray government's head from TPLF. TPLF's Central Committee held election. 41 members voted. 18 voted in support of Getachew, 17 voted in support of Fisseha Haftorsian, and other candidates got a few votes. Getachew is now TPLF's candidate for the slot of Tigray interim government head. Obviously, opposition parties might launch their own candidates. Now, question is, who was backing the other candidate, Fisseha? Because Debretsion has been sidelined. Now, Getachew is going to assume office if Addis Ababa approved this election, if opposition parties agreed on Getachew's nomination. Now, what we have learned from Tigray is that within TPLF there is intense conflict. Intra-party conflict was at its best when Getachew was elected a few hours ago. Party meeting was held, Central Committee members. Fisseha, the other candidate, was backed by a group led by Munjirino. Munjirino is nickname of Tigray's vice president, deputy president, Fatlever Gebregizabir, the lady. She is Tigray's vice president. She looks like a very silent type of woman who remained silent mostly, but she was the one who was leading the campaign to elect Fisseha Haftorsian. And LM Gebre Wahid also supported Fisseha Haftorsian. Debretsion was there, I think. He remained largely silent. Getachew got backing from members like Birhanu, Gebre Issas, Sable, Kahse, and others. Now, when Getachew has been elected as the interim government leader, what is going to be the reaction of the faction led by Fatlever Gebregizabir Munjirino? Will she step back? Will the group be loyal to Getachew, or will they try to weaken Getachew? That is why, if you remember a few hours ago, I said Getachew will face more internal challenges than external challenges. And he can only meet external challenges after creating unity in Tigray. Where they Taye Bogale would be uncomfortable, definitely. Getacheau's election shows that party, some groups in party, people in Tigray, in Addis, in top positions, they want some sort of change in Tigray. Though it's not a big change. If Getacheau is replacing the Bratson, it's not a big change. Both are top TPLF leaders. Both have been on the same page since day one, since the start of this war. I don't see it as a groundbreaking change. Still, at least that new face as interim, as Tigray president now for interim period. So we are going to see conflict within the TPLF now. If Getacheau failed to take the opposing group on board, which he'll have to do, Sadkan could follow, I think. He could be elected, could be nominated to a key position too. Sadkan Getacheau group gaining power, and the other group, which some say is Adwa Aksom group, is losing power. The group has been in power for years, and mostly it was being said for years that there was conflict in Tigray between Adwa and non-Adwa politicians. Now, it's a test of Getacheau's political maturity. Can he keep TPLF united? Of course, TPLF will not split, but if conspiracies continue, if internal divisions persist, party's efficiency, Getacheau's efficiency will be disturbed. That is why he'll have to create internal unity. Does he have the potential? Because we know that he can handle media well. He can handle international players too. But can he create unity within the party? That remains to be seen. So far, there are issues within the party. In coming, they will be able to say how Getacheau is going to lead the party if he is finally elected as the interim government head. Secondly, Tigray is handing over more weapons to Ethiopian National Defense Force. We know that Pretoria deal signed last year clearly stipulates that Tigray will hand over all heavy weapons, long-range weapons to Ethiopian federal government. And then light arms will be handed over as well. Tigray handed over its heavy weapons to ENDF a few weeks ago when we saw tanks, artillery pieces, MLRS being handed over to Ethiopian National Defense Force by Tigray forces in Agula, I think. Now we are receiving more reports from Tigray that within the last 24 hours, Tigray forces have handed over their rockets and missiles to Ethiopian National Defense Force. Several vehicles have been seen carrying these rockets and missiles, taking the ammunition, the weapons from Tigray along Mekelle Alamata Road. The weapons are being transported to Avash, reportedly a far region. Though no official statement from Tigray regional government or Ethiopian federal government, but reportedly handing over is happening while African Union observers were monitoring this handover. So overall, peace deal is being implemented gradually. Pace is definitely slow. The two parties are so far, they trust each other. We have seen statements from Tigray only against Eritrea, not against Ethiopian government, Ethiopian National Defense Force, and vice versa as well. ENDF did not say a word against Tigray government TPLF since the signing of the peace deal. So far, peace deal is being implemented, but pace is slow. Lastly, viewers, Ethiopian activists, journalists who are critical of the government are being arrested, they're being detained, they're being tortured. It has been going on for months when fighting was ongoing between Tigray forces, Ethiopian federal forces. Back then, whoever criticized Ethiopian government for war or whoever supported TPLF were being arrested. Now, mostly those who are criticizing Amhara, those who are criticizing Ethiopian federal government or regional government, they're being arrested. Yesterday, Taye Bogale was arrested. He is an activist from Birhanu, Oromia, but he is based in Addis Ababa. People say he's in Oromo, but he is very critical of TPLF, and some say he supports Amhara political elite. He was arrested while he was on his way to pick up his kid from a school. Secondly, Nigusie Birhanu was tortured by security forces. Videos are being shared, pictures are being shared of Nigusie Birhanu. Torture marks can be seen on his body. Both have been criticizing the government and Taye Bogale was arrested by security officials clad in civilian clothes in Addis Ababa. Of course, there would be members of intelligence agency of Ethiopia. Intelligence agency mostly operates while its members are clad in civilian clothes. So this crackdown, this campaign of oppression on activists, journalists is continuing. It will continue because outstanding issues between Amhara, Oromia unresolved, Tigray, Amhara unresolved, Somali, Oromo unresolved, Federation, regions, their concerns, their questions unanswered. So those who are taking very strong positions in social media, and sometimes they go to the extent of inciting of violence, they are being arrested, detained, but luckily most of them are released afterwards. Thank you for watching.